Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network, and this is my buddy Maggie, in case you haven't met her before. So today's topic is cleaning and the therapeutic value of cleaning. Hopefully you guys are seeing this. There was some technical confusion this morning, so if you're out there, please just put in a little bit of a chat, hello. And before we get started with today's topic, let's take a minute or two to get settled in and present. So let's take a deep breath in. Hi, Rosalind. Thank you so much. Really glad to see you here. And thank you for letting me know that things are working. That's awesome. And let's take a minute to get present, and then we'll talk about cleaning. So let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding into your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, and bringing vital life energy throughout your body and being. And as you exhale any tension, any stress, any negativity or fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And this time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out and electrifying and energizing all your molecules and all your electrons, and lighting you up from the inside out. And as you exhale any negativity, fatigue, and tension and stress. And now let's gently press our palms together and very softly rub them together to feel how delicious that sensation is, and allow yourself to be present and really experience the sensation available to you in this magnificent body of yours. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to be here with you. And I am excited to talk about cleaning, of all things. So I had, yesterday was an interesting day. It was really an amazing day, and it had its challenges, and there have been some things going on. We had technical difficulties yesterday morning, which is why I was unable to go live. I couldn't get Restream. Restream was offline for some reason, and I had all this other stuff going on, and so I apologize for missing being with you yesterday. But anyway, I'm back. And so what I'm just sending a note because we were having a little technical challenges. Anyway, so all these technical challenges, and I had clients that gave me space. Good morning, Jennifer. Wonderful to have you back. Welcome, welcome. It's been a while. So anyway, I was stressed out. Let's just leave it at that. I was stressed out, and because of the technical difficulties yesterday morning, I had some extra time before a client, and my office has been just really in need of some loving care and attention. There was Maggie bird poop everywhere, and crumbs from her eating, and mail and papers piled up, and so here I was in this stressed out mode, and while I was trying to navigate all these things that I needed to do, I found myself cleaning and organizing and putting things away, and creating a livable space, go figure, because I spend so many hours in this office, and it was just kind of a disaster zone. And so what it made me think about is why this dynamic of cleaning. And there are certain obvious things, right? When you're feeling kind of like things are out of control, or you have, well, I'll talk about them one at a time. So you feel like things are kind of out of your control, and maybe feeling stressed. Well, definitely feeling stressed and with things feeling out of control. Cleaning allows us to kind of feel like, well, this is something I can manage. This is something I can control, and I can get a visible and measurable result. Like, I can see the impact. I can make a difference here. This is something I can do. Now, this was not an intellectual exercise. It was just like, I've got to do something. And so the thing is about cleaning is that there's a doingness to it. And, I talk about being rather than doing all the time, but in this case, there's all this extra energy that needs to be expelled. And certainly you could go and exercise. That would be another way to expel that energy. But I found myself cleaning to my delight, frankly, because I couldn't get myself to do it for weeks. And so here I was cleaning and managing all this other stuff that I needed to do over the phone, etc. And the result is that I have this space that also feels more nurturing to me, more welcoming to me, more comfortable for me. And so in this instance, cleaning was a multifaceted gift to myself, right? It gave me an outlet for some of the energy that I was experiencing that I really needed to expel. And it also gave me something that was within my control, which, I'm not usually a control freak. And there were so many things kind of spiraling a bit that I just had all this pent up emotional energy. And I ended up with something that is feeling rewarding and comforting to have things organized and clean, to not be walking through Maggie droppings of food and otherwise on the floor and on my desk and on my keyboard, etc. So I wonder for you if cleaning is something that you do. Like, it's not always a refuge for me when I'm experiencing stress, but in this case, it was the perfect gift to myself. And as I said, I didn't really premeditate it. And the interesting thing is that a couple days before, I was having a really stimulating conversation and exciting conversation. And while I was having that exciting conversation, I found myself cleaning. So that was really interesting too. It wasn't just like needing to be in control or even being stressed out because I was excited. In that case, it was just like having a lot of energy, which I'm processing through now too with these yawns, I guess. So Rosalind says, I have a vacation rental that's usually booked on the weekends. I have the whole week to clean it. I sage the rooms with Palo Santo and Roomba vacuum as the first thing. That's awesome. The Airbnb space is cleaner than my own space. So isn't that interesting? And an interesting insight too, to find, like, one of the things I found is that I can help other people clean sometimes when I don't have the inner inspiration to be cleaning for myself. But really, really interesting, right? And so there's something about cleaning that also is a connector. It's a way to connect with and give love to a space, right? Or give, and if it's your space, to give love to yourself somehow, by touching the surfaces. But it's also a way of shifting the energy of the space, to your point, Rosalind, where you're using Palo Santo to sage the rooms. And so you're clearing the energy. And that's actually maybe one of the biggest motivators for me yesterday. Was like, there was all this intense heavy duty energy, and cleaning was clearing that energy in a big way. This did not occur to me consciously, but I think it's really quite true. Tammy says, I wish that was my thing to do when stressed, as I have lots to do in my home. LOL. I stress eat, which is no good. I can stress eat too, Tammy, and welcome. It's great to have you here. But I find myself stress eating also. And it was interesting to me that in this case, I was cleaning. And I think that probably it's a really important thing to recognize that it did radically shift the energy of my space. And that's really, really deeply what I needed, was to shift my energy. And so moving into that, when I was cleaning yesterday, was awesome. And I think it originally got inspired by this real excitement where I had all this energy. So I was cleaning to be able to move that energy through. I mean, I could have been breathing to move the energy through, but in my case, I actually was cleaning. So, and I was really excited that I was cleaning because, like I said, I couldn't get myself to do it for a long time. So Jennifer says, cleaning is one way to clear negativity from our space and opens us up to new energy. It does. It's kind of like out with the old and in with the new, where a lot of us talk about decluttering. I haven't gotten myself to do that yet. Not on any grand scale, which I really could do. But cleaning it really truly does shift the energy. So it takes energy, it requires energy, which can be a good thing because it can move out negative energy or over energy, of excitement or stress and tension. It can move that energy through. And it also shifts the energy of the space to make it a place where you can take a deep breath and maybe like let your shoulders relax and relieve some of the tension that might be in your neck, for example. Plus, it can tire you out, which can be a good thing, depending on if you're doing cleaning because you have to, or you're doing cleaning because you're inspired to clean. And in this case, for me, I have to say, I was inspired to clean because I couldn't get myself to do it from the have to place. So it was definitely coming from inspiration, and it turned out being a gift that really shifted my energy in a big way, which was really, really awesome. By giving me, it did give me a sense of control or impact in my environment. I felt it was empowering to me, which is interesting because I've never really thought about cleaning in this way. I know it's a way that people can feel like at least I can control this space. And, that's part of what was motivating me yesterday, but not when I was on that exciting phone call. Jennifer says, decluttering is going on in our house. We have a big family. Decluttering is a big deal, and I am hoping that my inspiration to clean leads to inspiration to declutter, because I definitely can do that. I mean, there's definitely space to be doing that. Yeah, so it's interesting, how we deal with stress in different ways. and deal differently at different phases that we're in. But as far as the stress eating, that used to be even more of an issue for me in the past. Like stress eating for me in the past would not de-stress me as much as it would numb me. And I wonder if that's the case for you guys that might find yourselves stress eating, if it's kind of just to go numb, you know, or substances, you know, like having a drink or smoking or whatever it might be for you. Is it actually relieving stress, or is it numbing you? And I know people do cleaning to numb themselves too. You know, I think that anything can be an avoidance behavior, you know, and then there are, and maybe anything can be a productive behavior or a positive behavior, where, you know, maybe having a glass of wine, if you really are present to the enjoyment of that, you know, of the taste of it and of the scent of, you know, the aroma of it and the sensations of it, you know, that can be a really rewarding and wonderful experience. And there can also be drinking wine to numb yourself, or just to calm yourself to a place where you can actually be more present. You know, and we're not talking about abuse of something. Anything in excess can be a challenge, right? Like I know people who are obsessive about cleaning and having everything in its exact proper place all the time. I remember growing up, when I would when I would be doing chores that I was mandated to do, vacuuming, that in the vacuuming, the vacuum cleaner pattern had to go in a very specific way, or it wasn't good enough, it wasn't clean. And so when we get into these, you know, there are rigid patterns that can be more of a constriction than an expansion, right? So if cleaning is an obsession, then it can be a way to avoid feelings, just like drinking or eating or whatever can be ways to avoid feelings. And I know that for me anyway, with stress eating, the stress eating, I wouldn't even be present to the flavor of the food or the texture or the experience of eating it. I would just eat to numb myself. I mean, I used to have a big issue with overeating and eating compulsively. That was what it was for me. And I think, again, anything we do compulsively is a behavior that in some respects it's cultivated as a survival behavior, but then it becomes a destructive behavior ultimately. So, you know, here I have been really looking to support myself by not forcing myself to do things that I don't want to do. And so I guess for me, it was a toss up between or a challenge between how much disorder is necessary before I want to clean, you know, before I feel inspired to clean. because I actually had a pretty high threshold for that, because I just really just did not want to clean. And the thing is, it got to a point where it's just such a relief to have things clean, you know. And I guess I it's all relative. Like maybe I don't have anywhere near as high a threshold as other people might have, but I have much higher threshold than some for sure. But anyway, so Rosalind says if I'm cleaning up to the last minute, it feels good to take a shower when I'm done and then sit and relax. I used to use a cleaning lady, but I often would have to clean after she cleaned, So Rosalind, what a great point, and I get feeling good to take a shower and then relax and feel accomplished, right? But as far as having someone to come and clean, it's really interesting. I had somebody helping me clean at one point, and I would clean before she came to clean, and then I know other people that clean after the cleaner comes. So, it's just like I've been debating about that. I've been thinking, wow, I would so love to have somebody that would be able to come and clean. And I haven't taken that plunge. And maybe it's partly due to having to pre-clean or having to post-clean, like finding the right person to be able to do the stuff or to help while you're doing it. Like if I had somebody that was cleaning while I was cleaning, and had the same standard that I had, that would be great because things would be that much cleaner. Or maybe I could be getting help decluttering, and who knows, like that kind of thing. It's interesting to look at the ways that where we have the capacity to enlist help and where we don't, because why hire somebody to clean if you have to clean after them, right? I mean, that makes sense to me. Anyway, I remember having to, when I was growing up, we would have someone come in to help clean, and we'd have to clean up in order to make it possible for them to clean, right? Like if there's stuff all over the floor that they don't know where to put, what's going to happen with all of that? And it's so funny. It's so funny. So Jennifer says, if I was only cleaning up for myself, things would be spotless. But our home is lived in, so it's never really clean, but it's never unsanitary. I hear you, Jennifer. That's kind of where I am with, and I apologize for the comparison. My cat is not really terribly messy, except around her kitty litter. But there are cat hairs, that get everywhere. But this one, Maggie, oh my gosh, the mess that this bird makes. It's unbelievable. Everywhere in the house, like in the bathroom, in my bedroom, in the office, and in the kitchen. Part of it is because I allow her to fly around, and also because there are lots of wonderful things that she likes to chew on and leave crumbs, and also because I feed her in different places. So, it's on me, but oh my heavens, what mess everywhere. And Rosalind says, I have to declutter the ground before using the robot Roomba vacuum. I like the pattern it leaves on the carpets. Well, we were talking about patterns of carpet before. For me growing up, they had to be all lined up very, very precisely, the patterns on the carpet. I don't have much carpet. And it would be really interesting to see how the animals interact with the Roomba. Anyway, guys, thank you again for another awesome morning, talking about cleaning. How funny, right? But I think it's an important or valuable example to look at, to see the kinds of behaviors that we engage in that um, improve our experience of life or not. And so on that note, I just will wrap it up and tell you how much I appreciate you and this time that we spend together. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. And Maggie and I go live each weekday morning here on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page. Please check out the other awesome programming on Enlightened World Network and on Enlightened World Living and on EWN, One with the Earth. Awesome programming. So much love to you guys. I look forward to spending time with you again soon. Thank you. And so